thinking about having things close to you is really, really important. And that's one of the things with universal design, accessible design, and aging in place, which are terms for building philosophies and looking at people's homes to try to make things more centered around the person. Instead of this is what a house looks, you need to have the bathroom here, the kitchen here, the stove goes here. You look at what people's abilities are and how to make the home more functional. It doesn't have to be ugly, but sometimes raising the dishwasher a few inches can make a big difference and can save your back, and people do that. We went for training to become certified aging in place specialists, and we learned about a lot of these different modifications that can be done, and they make a lot of sense. A lot of them are costly, but there are simple things you can do too, just to make life easier and avoid falls. One important thing is your home environment. Most falls happen in the home, and the bathroom is a dangerous place. It's made for protecting a house. You've got the surfaces that are sealed up to protect the house, the structure of the house, from water damage, things like that. And it's not really made for people. You have a lot of water, you have slippery surfaces that are great for protecting the house, but not so good for us if we want to take a step. So, excuse me. Opening up your house with light is really important. To have light to see what you want to do when you want to do it. And the typical overhead lights that we have in our houses are not so great. Things that are mounted up on the ceiling and hard to get to, they're a big problem. One thing that I try to look for practical solutions to problems and pass them along to people or do them for people. And one thing is, if you've seen these light bulb changers on looks like a broomstick, and it's got a little plastic basket on one end, and you're able to lift up the broomstick, and the basket will grip the light bulb, and then you turn the broomstick, and you can unscrew the light bulb and pull it down to where you are. Pull that out, put a new light bulb in, and then send it back up there. And that's great. That's much better than getting up on a step stool, a kitchen chair. These are the kinds of things that I've been doing for people for a long time. Sometimes you just need somebody to come in for a couple of hours to tend to a bunch of things like that. Smoke detectors, it's good that you try to get somebody else to change the batteries. It is the beginning of fall now, so one good rule of thumb with changing batteries for smoke detectors is in the spring and in the fall. If you need to step up on something to reach something, there's regular step stools that don't have any back and any support. And then there's the kind that are maybe 1 or 2 steps, and it has a support on the back so that you can actually hold on to that as a handle as you step up. And you'll have, excellent. It has a nice wide base, rubber-tipped feet, and that way you have security to do what you want to do instead of maybe teetering, especially if you're reaching for something like a bowl or dishes. Then you're going to have to handle that along with getting down, and what's going to go, the heirloom china or me. Sometimes it can be, in a moment, it can be a hard decision to make. One thing in a similar vein is moving frequently used items in the kitchen to shelves that are lower, that are easier for you to reach. Stuff that you don't use so much, that can go up top or down below. But having things closer at hand is really, really important. Making your home work for you. Because you live there, you need to be able to move. There's no reason in the world why you should have to struggle to do everyday things. And, you can enlist somebody to help you move things if you need to. There are services out there, and they'll ask you about your daily life, your cooking habits, how you want your kitchen set up, and they'll rearrange your kitchen for you so it makes more sense. One thing that is really important, and I'm a strong believer in, is personal alert systems. You've seen the commercials like Life Alert and others, and I grew up with those commercials. There's different kinds. One is, it's actually where you just push a button and you don't talk to anybody. A call is immediately placed to 911, and they know to come to your home. That's very simple. They don't have a monthly subscription fee or anything, but that's all it does, is it calls 911 for you. If you do fall, to be able to communicate that to somebody is extremely important. If you're unable to get up, I've known people who've been on the floor for 2-3 days after a fall. They could not get back up, and nobody was coming to visit them. And, you know, we're so spread out now, too, with our families. Maybe we live here, and somebody lives on the West Coast, somebody on the East Coast, or even around the globe. So it's important to have somebody to check in with. It's important to have somebody to check in with anyway, just once a day. A friend, you know, hi, how you doing? I'm good. Don't call me until tomorrow. Okay, fine. At least you know that you're both there and everything's fine. A call from your child or another family member, or even one of these personal alert systems. Just a little hello sometimes can make a big difference, to know that somebody is there. And at least if they call you the next day and you don't answer, then they'll know that that's unusual. Maybe make a visit to your house, or if they need to, call somebody else. So that cuts down the potential time that if you can't get up from the floor after a fall, that you'd have to wait, that you'd have to be there. And it's good to be connected with life. Like a man I took care of used to say, it's good to be among the people. And it really is. I feel great when I'm working out, when I'm exercising, when I go for a walk for 30 minutes a day. And there's incredible benefit from just doing that. Going out for 20 to 30 minutes for a walk, you get to be among the people again, you get to see the world, and you have all this oxygen flowing through your body. There's also classes that, and this is something from martial arts, they teach you how to fall. If you are going down, what can you do in that moment to minimize potential injuries? And again, I think that's brilliant too. And if I'm talking about anything and you want more information at another time, please talk to me after, and I will send you an email or mail you some information. If I don't know the answers, I'll find them for you. And the learning how to fall, if you're going to have to, and learning how to get up from a fall, again, that goes back to not feeling helpless. You have a way to make it through. And sometimes people, after a fall, have such tremendous fear of falling again that their world just closes up. And it's a shame. It's not necessary. I can understand it. You're afraid of being injured again, but it's really not necessary. So empowering people, feeling confident, is feeling rightfully confident because you're educated about something, you know how to do something, that's the way to go.